Recently, I moved in this apartment, as I had said, and the shower head that I had was not what I was used to at all. It just gushed tons of water, and it just made a mess. And so I was like, okay, well, my shower head is squirting tons of water, and it was shooting out so much water that the drain to the shower couldn't keep up with it, and it would start to fill up as I was showering. Um, and so there was, the shower was flooding. The shower head was pouring out tons of water, and made it like hard to shower. It caused a lot of wind, so it was blowing my shower curtain. So I had to make sure my shower curtain was like perfectly put together so that water wouldn't fly out the sides or anything. And then there was one part of it that was like broken somehow, so it was like shooting up, and I didn't realize at first that I was doing this. I was like, why is my bathroom getting so soaked? But it was shooting up and over the shower curtain, so it was getting out and just soaking the bathroom. And so I had all of these problems. I had a little spot for my soap, but my soap kept getting splashed by water all the time because it just was shooting out so much water. It would like hit me and like flying into my like soap and all that stuff. And every time I got out, there was just like so much steam and stuff because there was just so much water pouring on me. And so there was all these problems. And so I was like, okay, well, I can get a heavier shower curtain. I can maybe get like some kind of like shower caddy thing to like hang on it so that it's not splashing my soap. I can, just there was just all these things, and I was thinking of all the possible ways that I can make my situation better, and all I was doing was curing the symptoms. I wasn't curing the actual problem. I was focused more on the things that were having effect on me rather than what was causing them. So I was thinking about, okay, these are the things that I can do to try and solve that. But really, the solution was just get a new shower head. And so I did that, and then basically everything that I thought I needed to resolve was resolved with that swap. And I think that kind of is an eye-opening moment for a lot of things in the world today. I feel like there's some things that are problems, and all we do is solve the symptoms. We don't solve the actual problem. And I think one of those examples outside of my whole shower situation is electric vehicles and America's infrastructure as a whole, honestly. I think that coming up with the whole electric cars thing solves the emissions, but it doesn't really solve the problem. It solved a symptom. It didn't solve the issue. I think the issue is that we're so reliant on personal transportation, which it's great. It's nice having your own personal car to go wherever you want, whenever you want. But at the end of the day, it's caused a lot of other problems. It causes traffic. There's a lot of more deaths and accidents because of it. There's, the whole emissions thing that's an issue. You gotta you gotta like clear the land, flatten the land, and to put all these roads in and expand the roads, and like you have to just put in tons of infrastructure to keep it going. And if we kind of swapped over to maybe more of using electricity to drive trains. I mean, I know that's like trains are pretty popular in like a lot of Europe and stuff. I think that like we used to have tons of trains in America, and then they all got ripped up and we put in highways instead. And I think that along with our whole suburb designs and stuff, which makes it hard for public transportation to be effective, that kind of stuff is the problem. And we've been trying to fix the problem through, you know, solving symptoms. But the problem's still there, and solving one symptom doesn't cure the problem, you know, it just stops that for now. And for the most part, it's usually just kicking the problem down the road for someone else to figure out. Because with these electric vehicles, if every personal car goes electric, where are you charging all these cars at? You know, a thought that I've had is, if you need to charge your car and there's no such thing as a gas station anymore, it's just like a charging lot, how big of a charging lot do you have to make in order to charge all those cars? Because a car, I mean, I don't drive one, but I think it takes like 10, maybe 15 minutes, the fastest, to charge your car up. I guess if you're not doing it from home, maybe the whole plan is, well, you just charge from home, no issues. I don't really know, because it's hard to kind of predict what that would look like as of right now, because I don't know how many people are going to be driving long distances where they would need to charge their cars. I don't know how many people do currently. I haven't looked into this at all. This is just a random example that's come to mind that I've thought about, but I just feel like the general gas station will not be able to service the amount of electric vehicles, and that just causes more problems. And what are we going to have? Massive charging lots? That's not practical. I don't know. I just feel like we're solving one problem and another one's arising. And, you know, there's the whole talk of the recyclable batteries and stuff like that. And then people saying, well, that electricity is being generated by such and such, and that's not solving the problem any more than driving your car or whatever. And so there's just like a whole bunch of factors where it's like this solution is really just curing one symptom. It's not curing the problem. And I think curing the problem, it requires a lot more effort. It requires a lot more time, money, and thought and it's not as easy to do. And sometimes the hard thing is the right thing, you know. And so I think we need to take a hard look at our current entire infrastructure and kind of sort that stuff out, because, you know, we're just going to keep having problems come up the further time goes on if we don't say, okay, the real problem is such and such, you know. So that's just one example. There's tons of other areas where there's problems where we're not really curing the real problem, but I think that it's just important to kind of, and in any situation, before you go and put your time and resources into solving a symptom, you know, just take a look back and see, well, like, what's causing this to happen? And then if it says, oh, well, it's this, and then you'll be like, okay, well, what's causing that, you know? And then maybe that is causing something else too that was a problem, but you weren't too concerned with. But now, by solving this thing, you solve this problem, which was causing this problem, which you really were trying to save. You know, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that tracks as well as I think it does. But basically what I'm saying is, I don't know, there's a parable about it, about people were picking trash out of the river, and someone just said, why don't we just go upstream and see where the trash is coming from? And then, you know, that solved the actual problem. Rather than picking the trash as it comes down the river, they just stopped it at the source, you know. And I think that's kind of a mentality that we need to put into our daily lives as we're going through and things come up, you know. But yeah, peace out. Hey, wow, that was great. So great. No need to overhype it.
It was alright.
Fair enough.
Why don't we go this way, guys?
What's over there? Probably another video.
Let's go then.
I'm in.